There's a lot of misinformation circulating about auditioning for Broadway musicals. So let's finally set the record straight. We're going to start out with debunking all of the myths. Can you audition for a Broadway musical if you have never been on Broadway? Yes, we all have to start somewhere, right? You can audition for a Broadway musical if you haven't been in a Broadway musical before. Absolutely. And same thing for Broadway national tours. Can you audition for a Broadway musical or a Broadway national tour if you are non-union? Yes. Do you have to have a BFA or some type of college degree to audition for a Broadway musical? No. Do you have to have a lot of training to audition for a Broadway musical? I know some of you may not want to hear this, or you may not really truly agree with me, but if we sit down and really think about this question, the answer is no. Do you have to have an agent to audition for a Broadway musical or a Broadway national tour? No. I know people all the time that don't have agents that book Broadway shows, leave, college because they book a Broadway show, or they just older and farther along in their career and they book their first Broadway musical because they workshopped the production and came along with it. Like, do you get paid to be on Broadway? And is it a lot of money? Yes, you get paid. Is it a lot of money? I mean, that depends on how you look at it, because it depends on what Broadway equity minimum is at that time. And living in New York City and that life is very expensive. So it may look like a lot of money to you because, it's like a couple thousand a week or whatever it may be for the minimum amount. Do you make a lot of money? I mean, depending on what your thought process is. But yeah, you get paid. Of course, it's a job. Can you get on Broadway without any experience? Yes. I know a lot of people that book Broadway shows that they just happen to have a unique talent. So yeah, can you book a Broadway show with no actual musical theater experience? Like, sure, anything's possible. Let's get into now the few options that you have for actually auditioning for musicals on Broadway and Broadway national tours, because it looks very different than people tell you, and it also looks very different than pre-2020. The best way you can get information for this is to go on the Equity website, the Actors Equity Association, which is the union for musical theater and theater on stage work. And you can get a lot of information and answer a lot of these questions that you have right there on the website, which is really your key to debunking all of these myths and getting answers, is to start there. But if you are union, then you would go onto now the Equity website and you would sign up for an audition slot, or you can sign up if they are available for that show. You can sign up to submit a video self-tape audition, kind of like an open call, but you can submit a tape. They only take so many of them, but you have to do that through the Equity website. If you are not union, you do not have access to the Equity website. So you won't have access to submit for an appointment, nor will you have access to submit a video. So we have what's called open calls, EPA's Equity Principal Audition and ECC's Equity Chorus Call auditions. Principals obviously lead in supporting roles, chorus obviously ensemble or some type of featured roles. So your first option is to find out what the musicals are auditioning for Broadway or Broadway national tours, and to go to that open call, whether you're a union or non-union. Okay, here's the trick thing though. If you are a union, sign up for an appointment, or you'll be the first one on the list to get seen because you are a member of the union. Second is, if you are non-union, even if you're EMC, because we know that EMC is like a gone thing, right? If you don't know, go to the Equity website, look at it, it will explain it. MC is no more, okay? So non-union, okay, you don't have your card, then you can show up to the open calls, the EPAs or the ECCs, and try to get seen. They may not see you. There's no guarantee for that, but you can show up and try, absolutely. Where do you find those auditions? If you're Equity, of course, go to the Equity website. If you are not union, I'll get to Actors Access, but if you just wanna know where those are and you're not union, you can see those on Playbill, they'll post them, or you can see those on Backstage. A lot of times now they're posting them. So you can show up for the open call. That's like open to anybody. If you are non-union though, I wouldn't fly to New York City, show up for the open call, hope to get seen, and then don't get seen and you wasted your time and money. Just know that going in, there's no requirement. They don't have to see you. Second option, and something I feel like nobody knows, and there's this big myth and people are missing out on opportunities, is to submit online. whether you are union or non-union. Go on there. You can look at it for free. You can set up a free account, but you need to know that information. Go online, use Actors Access, make it a habit. Please just trust me on this one, okay? If you're submitting online, whether you're a union or non-union, the next steps, again, will be very much a wild card. Either you're going to get an in-person appointment where they want to see you, or number two, you might get an EcoCast and they might ask you for like some type of self-tape music from the show as either a pre-screening or a callback, however you would like to think of it. They'll ask you for music from the show and they will ask you to film it and submit a self-tape. If you want an agent, you need to be on Actors Access because our agents use the sister site of Actors Access, which is Breakdown Express. We don't have access to that. Only agents and managers have access to submit their clients on Breakdown Express. Are there going to be Broadway shows and Broadway national tours that you don't see auditions for? Yes, all the time. There'll be something that I get a callback for and I'm like, or a pre-screen for, or a request for tapes for, and I'm like, oh, no one else. I didn't see that posted anywhere. There are elements of that you're not going to see. Are there required auditions for Broadway national tours? Yes, they happen regularly. Again, refer back to the Equity website to get all the facts and figures on that. And then you'll start to see who the casting directors are and you will have more information. And information is knowledge and knowledge is power and power is confidence in this industry. So if you want to have an agent, having Actors Access your profile on that platform is like 100% you have to. So you might as well start getting used to using it. You don't know what you don't know, right? If you don't have this information, you just don't know. And that's okay. Now you know. Let me throw out some wild cards here. Now, I have clients all the time that say, tell me exactly what to do. Well, first off is to show up to open calls if you have the time and the energy and emotional bandwidth. Okay. Submit online if you're non-union. Okay. Keep training. Keep understanding the platforms, check out Backstage because they are posted there as well. A lot of the Broadway open calls, the EPAs and the ECCs. And if you're union, start submitting online, use the Equity website, use Actors Access, absolutely do all of those things because it is the wild, wild west. Here are your wild cards. Can you get seen and picked up and be asked to come in for a Broadway audition because they see you on social media? Yeah. I know it's happened lots of times, but is it your only gateway? No, because you can't control who sees your content. So if you're someone that's like, I like posting me singing, I'm playing maybe with an instrument, or I just like posting song clips of me doing something, unique or different with a song. Yeah, post it if it serves you. Absolutely 100%. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah. Absolutely. Do clips, do reels, sure. If that is taking up a lot of your time and emotional bandwidth, it's not the end all be all, but we have to keep putting it out into the world. So if you have an agent, you have somewhat of a leg up because your agent is submitting you. Is it perfect? No. Do people fall through the cracks? Absolutely. But that is our industry, right? So the best thing we can control if you'd like to audition for a Broadway musical or a Broadway national tour is to start using the platforms that you know work for you and to saying, I'm just going to try and I'm going to test out what is going to work for me and see what happens. Click submit, show up for yourself, and keep auditioning. Even if no one else believes in you in the entire world, you never know who's going to see you and believe in you.